Hi there, Dan Lawrence. I'm a cricketer for Essex County Cricket Club. I grew up playing for a club called Chingford in East London. My dad was the groundsman there, so I had no other choice really than to grow up playing cricket. From about the age of 12 upwards, I was playing for the Essex age groups and then went through to the Essex Academy. From the Essex Academy, I played a couple of years of second team cricket and I got my first professional contract at 16. From there, I've been playing in the Essex first team for 3 or 4 years now, and I'm enjoying my winter out in Cape Town. Yeah, well, he played for our club first team. He was a wicket keeper. I didn't actually follow in his footsteps, wicket keeping, but no, it was quite handy growing up having an indoor lane literally right next to my house. So yeah, I was hitting millions of balls as a kid, and yeah, sort of went from there. Generally, I've always excelled in cricket. I'm not actually naturally that gifted in many other, because cricket's only been the sport that I've played. No, I suppose when I got on the academy, I scored quite a few hundreds when I got onto there, and then
At age?
probably 15, and then I played my second first-class game for Essex, and I got my first 100 there. That was my sort of shining point when I first started against Surrey.
Two-day game, not a first-class game? No.
Yeah, first-class game, 4-day game. Yeah, I got 160 in my second game, and then from there on in, I sort of knew that I was, good enough to play. Yeah, no, it really is. We've obviously got some legends that have played the game, and it's a really sort of family-friendly environment at our club, led by Ryan Tendescarter at the moment. We've got a fantastic environment going at our club at the moment, where the last couple of years we've had a lot of success in the longer format of the game, purely because obviously we have good quality players, but we have a fantastic unit, and everything seems to sort of mould into one when you sort of mates off the field as well. And then when we get on the field, we're sort of ready to embrace any challenges that come our way. Well, what happened was when I first started playing for Essex, we were in Division 2, and we were sort of a really good team that sort of underachieved a tiny little bit. And I think ever since we've sort of said, no, winning the odd game, losing the odd game is not acceptable, and we're trying to go out and win every single game and play in a really positive mindset. Whatever situation we're in, we'll try and push for a win, and all of us genuinely believe whatever situation we're in that we're going to win. And once you get into that mentality, then you get a couple of wins together and it just sort of flows, and our percentage of wins in the last couple of years is fantastically high. It's brilliant, and hopefully that's something that we can continue. Me personally, I get a lot more satisfaction out of scoring a red ball 100, because it feels like you've worked exceptionally hard for your runs, and it's a great feeling when all your mates off the field are always so happy for you and enjoying your success. I think because we've got such a good unit at Essex now, it's you're trying to score runs for your team and your mates, and it's an amazing feeling when you actually help the team win games of cricket. When it comes down to the shorter format with preparation and stuff, because we've actually broken it down in England now, it's you play a few red ball games and you go into a block of white ball. You just practice you get probably about a week's practice and intense training, and then you sort of just go from there. I think if your basics are generally pretty good in red ball cricket and you've got a good foundation for white ball, then you can't go far wrong. You know what it is? Not in a bad way, it's just more of like a harsher environment. It's a little bit more ruthless. Like bowlers will, if you go through a patch of bad scores, for example, you can't just rock up and say, like, today's my day. You actually have to work for it, and you do, because we play so frequently. We play 14 championship games, and they come so thick and fast. It's easy to get into like a little rut of low scores, so you have to sort of stay positive, stay in the present, and then go from there. But generally, like the pace and things like that, people hype that up too much, because everyone's reaction time's the same, and everyone's actually got the ability to face that sort of stuff. It's just building a good enough technique to be able to deal with it. You know what it is? It's just, you obviously have senior guys in the team that want to sort of assert their dominance a little bit, but we don't really have that at our club. Like the senior guys have got a lot of time for youngsters coming in. I think when you're a youngster, you've just got to embrace it and ask the right questions to the people who have played hundreds and hundreds of games. I've been fortunate in our dressing room. We've got likes of, say, Ravi Bopara, Tendo, Alistair Cook when he plays, obviously Tom Wesley who's batting over there. If you ask the right questions, then you can only learn and sort of learn from what they do, and obviously put your own spin on it and try and be successful in your own way, but it can only help having them in your change room. Without trying to blow my own trumpet, I think I have got the ability to play in all formats for my country. But it's just, sometimes in the past got a little bit too ahead of myself, and I say I want to score 1,000 runs by June, or for the season I want to score 1,000 red ball runs. I think it's just staying week by week, trusting your technique, and then if you trust that you're good enough to do it, then the runs will sort of speak for themselves. I think it's quite important just to work on your foundation, and if you know you're good enough, then generally you will be successful. Yeah, I think it's actually quite important to have a few failures when you're younger, just so you can learn from where you've actually gone wrong. And I think it's just about how quickly you actually learn. So say, for example, you play a couple of rash shots one week, or you get to like 60 and think that's enough and you give it away. But then you get to a sort of stage where you're like, no, you get to 60, you have to get 100. Like, because you do get quite a lot of good balls in England, where if you actually do have your name on it, when you actually have that day where you get in and you're in a good place, you have to make sure you're quite ruthless with it. There's lots of challenges that go into it. Obviously, the pressure of scoring runs, some people with contracts and stuff, that sort of things that go through people's heads. Like, not quite mine, because I sort of generally believe that I'll be fine. But obviously, it's tough to stay like present and happy. Say if you're not scoring runs and you're worried about contracts or other sort of things like that. It's just about sort of trying to keep a clear mind and concentrate on scoring runs on the day. But it's actually quite a privilege, really. So you play quite intense cricket for 6 months in England, and you can, obviously, if you don't get called up to higher honours, so like Lions or the actual full England team, you have the sort of winter just to sort of try and hone your game and just get better. And you generally don't want to do that in England because it's quite cold and depressing. But coming to Cape Town and training sort of 3 times a week and doing your fitness and also enjoying what Cape Town have to offer is brilliant. Like, you can train so hard and have a lot of fun at the same time, and you get in a really good headspace coming into the English season. No, you can't. It's because everyone's actually coming up to the speed of the game. Like, for example, in 2020 cricket and one-day cricket, now everyone can play the scoops and the reverse sweeps and hit the ball out the park, where only a selected few, say 5-6 years ago, could actually do that. Again, I don't think it's actually about comparing yourself to anyone else. I think it's being the best version of yourself. I think the standard of cricket is generally actually going up. Like last year in the Championship, the bowling that we faced was very relentless, and you very rarely got a bad attack. And like I said, it's all down to having like a basic technique that you can actually use. And again, I just think about trusting yourself and backing yourself that you're going to score runs. And if you do believe in yourself and you have a good technique, then you can't go far wrong. Well, I just think if you're going to commit to playing cricket, then actually have a full go at it. I think if you're half-hearted with it, then it can be tough. But I just think the most important thing is actually just to try and enjoy it and not put too much pressure on yourself as a kid. So just try and score millions of runs. Just enjoy it and know if you train hard enough and have fun at the same time, then you generally can't go far wrong.